Hey there friends, welcome to the vid. In this vid, I'm going to talk about if you are having trouble socializing with DPDR and anxiety, why that could be the case, and some of the things that you can do about it. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name's Dan, and I help people recover from DPDR using one-on-one coaching, and I'm also the creator of the Freedom course, which is the best online course for DPDR and anxiety recovery. And if you are a subscriber, then welcome back. One of the things that can take a big hit when you're going through this is your social life. You feel that perhaps you're no longer able to fully connect with the people that you used to be able to, or when you are there, you're just constantly thinking about your symptoms, or you're really worried that when you go out, the symptoms are going to be really strong and you're not going to be able to deal with it when you are out. All of these things are legitimate concerns, but I want you to think right now about how helpful is it to you to keep thinking these things. For example, let's look at the example of you think you're going to have really strong symptoms when you do go out, and so you avoid going out because you don't want to have the symptoms. What you're telling your brain right there is that socializing is bad, socializing is attacking me, I should avoid socializing at all costs. And this isn't a helpful thing because you are already anxious, and what you're doing is you're building the anxiety around this. You're solidifying it for you. You're cementing it in your brain that you're an anxious person, you're particularly a social anxious person, and social situations should be avoided at all costs. Now the thing is, right, is that all of this started by you creating it in your mind and you telling yourself that this was true. Now, this isn't necessarily your fault, and you've done this unintentionally, but it is something that you've done. And the reason you've done this is perhaps because maybe the symptoms first came on when you were out. Perhaps you were getting high with your friends, and then you got DPDR from getting high. Perhaps it was something else. But either way, it feels bad, and now you've sort of anchored the two things together. And so even though this has happened unintentionally for you, the amazing news is that you can flip it around. Now, I don't know if you've heard the saying, but some people say like thinking about the event is actually worse than the event itself. And once you do the event, you sort of come through the other side and say to yourself something like, that wasn't half as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Or, oh, actually, that was all right. And it's exactly the same thing with these situations. And because you let these thoughts spiral out of control and you believe them as well, you think them to be true, then of course whenever you go out, all you're going to be doing is looking for every single minute way that you feel anxious rather than just seeing what actually happens while you're there. And so that's the horrible trick that anxiety does. And so what can you actually do about it? Well, the first thing that you can do is to try and cut the thoughts off right where they begin. So if you do have a social event coming up and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to go, I'm just going to be anxious, I'm just going to be scared, what if something happens? Then you can go, oh, that's that thought. That's that thought that always spirals me down the rabbit hole. This is the thought that always just builds me up and builds it up into something which is just completely way out of hand. It's complete catastrophizing. Whatever words you want to use that resonate with you, then use those words. Because if you stop the thought here, then it's not going to spiral down. Now, I'm not saying to try and not think it, because that's going to be impossible. You can't just not think these thoughts. And then, you can sort of just let it be. You're not trying to block it out. And then you can focus again on what your friend is talking about, or you can, do some kind of grounding, or you can excuse yourself for a minute and just say, I'll be back in a minute. I just need to use the bathroom, or whatever it is, to get back that sort of confidence within yourself and just to realize that the situation isn't as bad as you think it is. It's your thinking which is creating something out of nothing. Now all you're doing is consciously training your mind to look for the neutral stuff and the positive stuff. It's no mystery or, groundbreaking thing. You've trained your mind one way. All you're doing now is training it another way. And it might feel really difficult to begin with, and you might say to yourself, this is just too hard, it doesn't matter what I do, I just feel bad. Over time, I promise it will get better, because it always does. And so my friends, I really hope this video has been helpful to you and you found some useful information from it. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.